morning. Hello, Ria from Maisie jumping on to show you the new journal cover. If you are a follower of mine, you will have known that we've recently put out the notebook cover and it was so popular. You've loved it, but everyone was asking for an A5 version. Now, I know a few of you tried to enlarge the other one, but it makes it hard with the holes. So I've designed this one specifically for A5 notebooks. Now, let's have a look. In here I have a soft cover A5 journal. This is a stone paper, clear page. My kids love these for some reason. They feel really weird. But you can get your soft cover A5 journal pads. These are really cheap. I think they were like $3 for 3 of them at Kmart. And so that just slips in the cover slips in underneath these two folded tabs and closes quite easily. You can see you've got 4 options there, but you can close that quite easily on the last 2. So let's take this out. Fold it back so I don't wreck the book. Okay, and this gives you an idea of the inside of the cover. So you can see we've got an inner flap here. This is handy for anything really, photos, tickets, anything you just want to keep in with your journal, anything loose. And then we've got 2 pockets here. It's a bit hard to see because I've chosen this. I love this. It reminds me of the 80s and a little bit of Barbie. And what it is it's 2 pockets. I've given you a nice narrow pocket here to stick a pen, or you might want just something you want to keep safe so it doesn't come out. You can put pens in here, you could put highlighters, whatever you choose, but you've got 2 pockets there. It even fits a mobile phone. There we go. So it is up to you. Now, I've made this so that because obviously all notebooks are different. You've got spiral bound. It fits a spiral bound notebook in there. This is a hardcover notebook or journal book, A5. They're all A5. It is another cheapie from Kmart. You would have the same thing, I reckon, at Walmart or whatever you use over there. And you can see that just slips in nicely. Close that over. And that will even close on the very first 2 snaps that we have there. But what I've done is I've tried to make it so that if you've got anything in here that's bulky, okay, so if you've got that like that and you're closing it over, you can use the last 2 tabs. Okay, so you've got a few options with this and it fits a few different books. So now stick around and I'll show you how to sew it and put it together. Okay, so let's get on to all of our pieces that you'll need for this notebook. First of all, let's flip it over. This is your cover piece. You've got your holes there for your snaps. You can see you've got holes all the way around for sewing. It is larger than a normal A4 size of faux leather. What you will need is an A3, or if you can get larger, A3 is just 2 A4s that haven't been cut. All you need to do is speak to your faux leather supplier. I got this from the UK, Joliffe, I never know if I say it right, but I'm pretty sure there's most of you, if you approach your supplier, they'll be able to supply that to you. So you've got your larger piece here, which is going to be your cover, and then you have got your sleeves that go on top. So let's pop that there. Now you've got 2 options for sleeves. You've got one with holes just around the edge. Pop that there. You've got this one here and it's got holes running down, and that's for the pocket. This pocket here, it's quite hard to see with the pattern, but you've got a pen side, and if you've got a mobile phone you can slip it in there. So this is quite a neat sort of idea for journaling. You've got your phone, your pen, you've got your notebook, you're all set. And we've also got another sleeve which fits on the back, so you can slide papers or photos or whatever you need in there. You could choose to put that on this side. If you did that, you'd want to make sure you've just obviously mirroring these 2 pieces, and then they would go on that side there. So you have got a couple of options. I've also put it's like a blank really, it's just there as a spine. It is to finish off your notebook cover, and also add a little bit of stability to it. And then lastly, you've got your tab. So that's going to be sewn. If you've made any of my notebooks or anything else, you'll know how this works. That's being sewn down inside internally, and then that will wrap around, and there's actually 4 snaps. So depending on how fat your journal is, you can use the first 2 or the second 2. So that is all of the pockets explained. What I'm going to do before I get stitching is I'm going to attach my snaps. Make sure you have them all the right way around. You're going to put them here and just here. So I'll pop away and do that and then come back. Might be a second. Okie dokie, so I'm back. Now the reason I do that is because my snap press is massive and it's on the other side of the studio. But so you can see we've put on your snaps so they all click on. There we go. And you've also got that option, as I say, of you can sort of make it wider or not. So something I wanted to say at this stage, because it's only going through one piece of faux, this is really good quality, quite thick faux. If you were concerned about the snaps tearing through your faux leather, then what I would suggest is maybe just cutting out a square and popping that on there so you've got 2 layers just to strengthen it up. Okay, but I'm not going to do that because I think this should be fine. Okay, so really now we're ready to get stitching. The first thing I'm going to do is sew around my tab. Okie dokie. I've actually made the top a little bit longer than the bottom on purpose, and that's because when it closes it sort of does, the bottom pushes out a little bit. So I've tried to counter that in case you're wondering why that piece is bigger. Okay, so let's get on to stitching. I'm using a large embroidery style needle with a blunt end. I should say like a crochet or a darning needle, anything that's not too pointy because you don't want to end up bleeding over everything. I'm using my embroidery thread, and that comes like this, but you could use, whoops, let's just reach, you could use like waxed cord. You get these in big rolls. It is up to you, but the holes are quite big, so you can even get crochet wool in there if you wanted to. But I'm just going to stick with this blue because it sort of contrasts with the colours I've chosen. Now, if you've made anything of mine, and especially anything small like this is a good one to start on, the wee little pixie pouch. It's just a matter of sewing in one direction and back in the other. So I'll get started and then I'll probably jump forward, and once I get to the end, because you don't want to watch the whole thing, I am sure. Okay, so I'll rethread that because it's just come off. Okay, so you can see I've got the knot there, it's inside. You just hide it inside. I'm going to come back through, and you want to line everything up nice and neatly. And then I'm going to simply sew around and back again. Okay, so I'll quickly jump on. You can see I've sewn around from where we started. You can see my little knot poking out. We've got into this line of holes here. I'm going to work my way all the way back around to here and then back again, so that we've created a solid line. Okay, so we've gone all the way around. You can see we've got one stitch left, so I'm going to go through, and you'll see this is the very last stitch. I'm going to grab my needle and I'm going to pass it. See how I'm coming out through the end of the tab. That's it. You're going to get your needle. You've got your needle and you're going to pass it through so that it pops out the side like this. We're creating a loop, and I'm going to take it back through again, but through another stitch, out and up and through that loop, and ideally when you pull it tight it creates a little knot. Do that twice, and then all you do, oops, my little loop's not much of a loop, there we go, tight. Okay, and then you just want to trim it. So you might wish to pop a little bit of if you're wanting to hold your two pieces together, you could put a little bit of glue in there, but I think that feels nice and firm. Okay, so we've done the tab, so we'll set that aside. Next, the next thing you want to sew separately is going to be your pockets. Here you're just going to sew down these two stripes. There we go, where the holes are. So again, I would probably you'll start internally, go up and down, here, up and down. Make sure when you're tying it off it's inside and not behind, because you don't want it to catch on the book when the sleeve goes in. Okay, so you can see we've sewn both of those two stripes there to create the pocket, and what we're ready to do now is put the whole thing together. It's all held together by one big continuous stitch around and then back again. So it's all a matter of just having everything lined up so that you are sewing through all the right holes. You want this middle bit just to be under these two pink parts here, your two sleeves, but really it's quite straightforward. So let's get started sewing. I'm going to need a nice long piece of thread, and there's a good chance you will have to rethread with this because I don't like it to be too long or you get knotted. And all you do with that is you just tie it off like we've shown and then restart with a knot. Make sure it's underneath somewhere so you don't see it. I'll get started and I will just sort of pop in when I get to anything important, but I will keep these pieces over here, and I'm also going to keep that one there, and I'm just going to start on this side. I will start quite close to the corner because my knot will be closer to the side if I start there. Obviously if we're putting any books and things in, we don't want them to catch, so I'll go in here. Now, if you're concerned about it pulling through or anything like that, remember, just a little touch of glue. That's all you need to hold it in place. Hi guys, good morning. Look, I'm jumping on quickly because I've completely lost the footage that I filmed the other day. I have no idea where it's gone. I've just got an error message and I can't retrieve it. So I was showing how you start off sewing around the edge of your cover, and I showed how to insert the black piece here on the spine as well as the tab. I don't have that footage now, so I'm going to quickly talk you through it. Where I left off, we were just sewing a single stitch all the way around, and it was, to be honest, very easy. You're just going to be sewing all the way around the edge. When you get to here, you want to insert your center spine piece. You'll see that it overlaps slightly under each one. You've going to run your stitch through those holes, so you want it to be centered. And then keep sewing around until you get to where you insert your tab. And again, that's quite simple too, because you're just sewing through the holes. What you might want to do, and what I did, was use a ruler. The cover is about 23 centimeters deep, so half of that's 11.5. So I just made a little marking in pen underneath. Inserted it. It's a bit fiddly-faddly as you sew. Keep going around. When you get all the way around to the top, you just turn around and come back again, so then you're filling in the gaps. It's pretty much as simple as that. So sorry about that, I did have that footage, but goodness knows what happened to it. So we'll pop this in its place. If you have any questions, you know you can reach out to me. I'm always happy to have a chat, or you can even ask on the Facebook group. They're wonderful on there too. All right, thank you. Okay, so we're still stitching. We've started at the top. We're coming all the way around, and I've only just got this last bit to go. I've had to retie on some more thread, and I'm chosen to do it under this black part because you can access it quite easily, which is good. So keep on stitching. If you like hand sewing, this is a good one because it's so big. It's worth it in the end though. Okay, and we're there, we're right at the end. So again, you just want to tie off internally. And we're done. So now just insert your journal and you're away. Thanks for watching. If you need any help, just reach out. Have fun creating. Bye.